Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, Clive Palmer has announced he's going to create a replica of the Titanic. Now, this is not news on some level because he's announced this twice before, and there's been a lot of criticism, a lot of cynicism. About a decade ago, he announced that he was going to build a replica of the original Titanic, the Titanic 2, and it was going to be cruising and leaving from the same port the original Titanic left, but actually arriving in New York. Now that fell apart around 2015 because of some financial issues. He announced it again in 2018, and it was on schedule to happen apparently. And then you know what happened a year or so after that, and that shut everything down. But now it's 2024. He's announced again that he's actually going to be creating the Titanic, recreating the Titanic 2. It's basically the same design as before. The only thing that's changed is the planning and all that of the actual construction and everything. And I'm feeling fairly optimistic about it. And when he was sort of challenged by this, he said, look, I've got more money now, and why wouldn't I do this? Like, I'd rather do this. I'd rather spend my money doing something like this, making people's dreams come true and creating a Titanic, than just sitting at home counting my millions. He's 70. I guess he's got nothing to lose, and he just wants to do this. He wants to make this dream come true. I think it's amazing. I think it's great. I don't like him personally because of his political opinions and so forth. He's wasted a lot of money on a lot of things, and negative political campaigns and so forth. But if you can make this dream come true, I'm fully there for it. I support him for that because I just think it's amazing. I would love to see the Titanic. It breaks my heart that they didn't keep the Olympic, which was Titanic's sister ship that survived, and turn it into a museum for the Titanic, and maybe even modify it to resemble the Titanic more, because they were sister ships, but there were a couple of differences. But they just tore it apart after it was decommissioned, and there's photos of like the staircase and everything sitting, being torn apart, and it's just really horrible. I don't know why they didn't do what they did with the Queen Mary, which was basically dock it somewhere and turn it into a museum so everyone can go on it, and it's like going back in time. It's amazing. They should have done that with the Olympic, but they didn't. So unfortunately, this is the closest I've been to the Titanic. My little Revel model, which has survived. It's a mess. I'm probably going to put it in the bottom of a fish tank one day, but I need to get a proper big scale model like the Titanic Historical Society has a really good one I've been meaning to get for years. But there's actually currently in Melbourne, there's actually a Titanic museum experience, and I kind of want to go, but I'm not sort of just, I'm only sort of doing essential things still, health issues, blah blah blah. I don't know if I want to go, but I hope this happens. I don't know if I'll ever go on the ship, but the idea of him doing it I think is great, and I don't have any issues. I think people are being a bit harsh on him. I know, like you said, he's already announced it twice, but you know, a lot of businesses and a lot of plans and things like that are announced and get delayed or change shape and form and so forth. But part of the criticism is probably because of his politics, but I really don't care about that in this instance. You know, as long as this doesn't become political somehow, I'm happy with him doing it, and I hope it comes true, and I'm giving all my energy and best wishes, and I hope we actually see a Titanic one day, because it would just be amazing to have the ship. It's supposedly going to have like experiences where you can take the third class experience or the first class experience, and everything on the ship will replicate everything that was in the ship at the time. The only thing different is of course to have enough lifeboats on the lifeboat deck, which was actually built to carry enough lifeboats. They just didn't put them on there because they thought it looked cluttered, and they wouldn't be needed, of course. So there's not a lot of changes. I mean, the smoke stacks I think are now going to be lookouts, because they don't actually need them, because they won't be using the same type of engine. So there will be differences in the ship, but so far as the decks and the experience that you have, it should be a recreation of, or is planned to be a recreation of, the original Titanic and that. So I think it'll be amazing. I hope it happens. And I'm not as cynical as some people, and I don't think it's really fair, the amount of criticism that he's getting from people, even though he has sort of announced it more than once, and it has, not happened yet. But, there's been reasons. So I say give him a chance, and I hope it happens. So I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Do you think this will happen? Would you like to go on it? I think it would be amazing. Even if they just dock it and people get to go on it and look at it like a museum piece, that would be amazing. So many possibilities, and it's just, it's the ship of dreams, and I'm dreaming about all the possibilities from, this.